I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
And let's just take a look at how that same anchor decided to raise Kamala Harris's flip-flops. She raised in a generic question that mentioned a couple of flip-flops, the fracking issue.
Oh, we've got that in a moment.
You're going to bring up fracking.
Wait, we've got that. Oh, you know what? Let's just jump ahead.
No,
it's okay.
Go ahead.
Well, let me throw to that clip because that'll set you up perfectly. So let's jump to that.
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah. And
fracking? She's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police. She's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
All right, so there's a couple things there. Trump obviously misspoke one quick word there. He meant to say she was for defund the police. And then on the rest of it, it's basically, and obviously we edited in the fracking issue, so take it
from 19.
Yeah.
Okay, so the way to ask that question was to drill down, pardon the pun, on the fracking issue. And it wouldn't have required that much homework because she has spoken to this a couple of times recently. It came up in the Dana Bash interview, the only interview Kamala Harris has done, so we know that Linsey Davis has seen it. And that is the interview in which she told the lie. She was confronted by Dana saying, you apparently have switched your position on fracking because in 19 you said you wanted to ban it. And then some rando from your campaign put out some statement not actually signed by you saying you no longer felt that way. So which is it? And Kamala Harris lied to Dana Bash and said, I've been very clear that I'm not in favor of a fracking ban. I made that very clear on the debate stage in 20, and I've not been in favor of that. And no acknowledgement of her position in 19 or the flip-flop. And Dana Bash hadn't done her homework, which was a fail. She should have known, because before you ask a question of a candidate in an interview that big, like Dana had, or a presidential debate, you researched all their positions on fracking. She's had an evolving position on fracking. Get me everything she said about fracking, certainly within the last 60 days. I want to see everything she said. And she failed to go back and check what she had said at that VP debate. So Dana was caught off guard and wasn't able to fact check her live on the fact that at that 2020 debate with Pence, what she said was not a reversal of her commitment to ban fracking that she'd made 6 months earlier. It was an espousal of Joe Biden's commitment not to ban fracking. What she said on the debate stage was Joe Biden will not ban fracking. And so Dana Bash let her get away with saying, I made my position very clear, my position that I am not in favor of banning fracking. She got away with it with CNN. So now you are the ABC News anchor and you get another fresh bite at this apple on the presidential debate stage. A normal journalist who is not just a partisan hack is salivating at this opportunity. This is fun as a real journalist who's there to illuminate issues and show the voters who somebody is. You say, I've got her. I'm going to say, you told CNN that you'd always had this position. You claimed that you made it clear on the debate stage in 2020. In fact, what you said there was that it was Joe Biden's position not to ban fracking. All you've ever said on the record, on camera, is that you want to do it, madam. Which is it, right? You could work on the landing. But that's where she should have gone. So what happens? She lets her commit the same sin again. She got away with it again. And here's point 2. She also offered more nonsense that she offered to Dana Bash that wasn't fact-checked on CNN and wasn't fact-checked on ABC, which was, she said, as vice president, because you're president of the Senate, I cast the deciding vote to pass the Inflation Reduction Act, a bullshit named act, that opened up more leases for fracking. And when she said it on CNN, I thought, oh, that's interesting. Is that true? Let's fact check that. Let's actually look into that. Again, Dana Bash should have known because she knew she was going there, but she failed. And the truth is about those leases on fracking, yes, something was inserted in the Inflation Reduction Act on which they were trying to get Republican votes. And as soon as they passed it, months later, they removed that permit and stopped all the leases for the fracking based on their conclusion that the environmental impact had not been adequately studied. Back to their actual position, which is fracking is bad for climate change and shouldn't be done. Who's called her out on that? Not CNN, not ABC, and that Linsey Davis knew this was going to come up because unlike Bash, she had the preview 2 weeks ago, and she either didn't do her homework or she wasn't interested. That's why she lumped it in with those other two flip-flops and then just did a when she dodged to get out of it.